Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, July 10th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's gonna open in about 6 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. All right, looks good. Let me this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, so as people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up. Put it over here. Down to the 4 hour. Down to the 2 hour. Down to the 1 hour. Down to the 30-minute. Down to the 15. Down to the 10-minute. Back to the 1 minute. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, July 10th. It is 6:27 right now. Market's gonna open in about 3 minutes. So we'll see what happens here shortly. Let me check real quick. So it looks like we have some news today. We had Paladin speaking at 7 o'clock. We had some pre-market news at 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, very low impact. So 4 o'clock right here. 6 o'clock. Right here. Then we got Powell speaking at 7. And we have gas stock change at 7:30. All right, so it looks good. Volatility right now is pretty low. Looks like price might be bullish today, but we'll see what happens here when market actually opens in about 2 minutes. So, all right, guys, looks like we are good to go. All right, so price pushes up. Target price point right here is going to be the level up here. That's kind of the area we'll be looking for. If price pushes down, target's going to be probably liquidity down here. So the volatility is not very high right now. So it's probably going to hit liquidity down here if it drops lower. And if it pushes up, it's probably going to push up to this next level up here. So, I mean, we'll see what happens here when market opens up in about 30 seconds. So we got market opening up shortly. We got price kind of going back and forth right now. So we got price rejecting off the pivots right here. Price is coming right back down. We got market opening up in about 10 seconds. We're getting some increased volatility here. Market opening up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Market is now open. All right, guys, so let's see where this goes. Currently, right now, we have a bearish bias. Price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. We'll see if it stays below here. If not, it'll probably swing back up. Again, I'm gonna let the market here kind of stabilize a little bit before I start looking for any entries, because there just isn't much direction here at the moment. So you got price kind of going back and forth. I need to get some sort of bias here before I start looking for some entries. So this could be a possible entry for a sell if price comes back down. It's not looking like it's going to, but if it does, I mean, that's something you guys can look for. Looks like price is now climbing back up higher. Hit liquidity up here, hit the liquidity down below. So liquidity right here got hit for the sell, got hit here for the buy, got hit here for the buy, got again, hit the first target right there that we mentioned, which was levels. So we're getting some pretty back and forth movement right here. As you guys can see, price is just whipsawing back and forth. This candle has about 40 seconds left on it. So if it turns green, I'll be taking this here for a buy. So I'll be watching it. It's got about 20 seconds left on it. So I'm watching this to swing back up. It's probably not going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. We got about 9 seconds left on this candle. So again, we're just going to wait for this here to provide some sort of direction. Obviously, as you guys can see here, there's not really much direction. Price is just whipsawing back and forth. We got Powell speaking at 7, so we got some time here. There's a possible opportunity here for a buy, but it happened way too quick. Price came down sharply, shot right back up, and it already hit TP. This thing's moving pretty crazy this morning. So it looks like we might be looking for buys, but it's kind of tough. It's hard to see where price is going. I mean, price is just going back and forth right now. So again, we'll be looking for price to maybe swing down, swing up. There just isn't any direction. Price is spiking back and forth right now. All right, so it looks like price is trying to come back down. It doesn't have much luck getting past the sessions right here. So you guys can see it keeps trying to get past the sessions and then it just spikes right back up. I don't really want to trade around the sessions. If price touches the sessions, I'll probably skip it for the most part. Again, price is climbing back up right here. Let's see, if price pushes up higher, the next target price point is going to be this level up here, the 700 mark. There's not really too much down here since there wasn't too much movement during pre-market. There is a lot of liquidity sitting below though, so just keep that in mind. All right, so again, right here, price is pushing up. So I'm looking for price to come down super hard, come right back up and correct. That's where I'll be looking for my entry. So again, I'll be watching this right here. I want it to come down, bounce off the pivot, and then if it swings back up, I'll be looking for possible opportunity for a buy. All right, so I'll be watching for this to swing back up green. So I got in right here. I think I got in a little too early. Watching over here. Yeah, I got in a little too early on this one, guys. I don't think this is a good entry.
Order submitted.
I got stopped out on that one. It's all good.
Order filled.
The volatility right now is just a little too high, guys. So just be careful with your guys' entries if you guys are looking to take some of these here. Let's try to swing back up. Got back into this one right here. Let's see what we're currently at. Got stopped out of that one too. So unfortunately, guys, I took some losses on this one right here. I'm going to hold off on the market for today. It's just not really moving very smoothly. So I took a couple losses right there. Basically, I break even for the week now because I took 2 wins on Monday, Tuesday, took 2 losses right here, and this thing just kind of whipsawed me out. So the volatility right now is a little crazy, guys. I think I'd probably hold out of the market unless you guys like really want to take something. You guys can see the volatility here is not really good with regard to direction. Prices goes up, comes back down. You guys can see my 2 losses right here. So I'll put this over here as my losses, of course. And I don't want to trade on tilt, so I'm going to hold off on taking any more trades for today. Yeah, this market is crazy right now. There's just no direction. I mean, there's volatility, prices spiking back and forth, but there's just no direction. Price is kind of just sitting between these areas. The current range right now is between the 650 and the 600 mark. Took 2 trades there. Unfortunately, they both got spiked to the stop loss. I'm going to go and put this over here real quick. The entries happen at 634 and 635. So currently at break even for the week after getting caught in those fake outs. 634, 635. All right, so I'll keep looking for entries here, but for myself, I think I'm going to hold off. This obviously you guys can see the market's not really moving very smoothly at all, and it's not the best condition to be trading until you have some sort of direction. So what I would recommend is if you guys are looking for entries, wait for price to break out of the 650 area here, and also break out of this 600 area right here. So until price breaks out of this area below, I probably wouldn't be looking for any sells. And then until price breaks above this area above, I wouldn't really be looking for buys because the whipsaws right now are just way too heavy. And there's really not any direction here. Whenever price comes below, the pivot shift. Whenever price pushes above, the pivot shift again. Yeah, no, and I agree with you too, Nick, 100%. Yeah, that second one was a revenge trade for sure because I saw it come up right here. Well, no, the second one over here was actually green, I think. The first one over here was definitely not. This one I got in a little too early. Like right there, like right when it touched it. And then right here, the second one was definitely a revenge trade. This one didn't play out. Well, it didn't play out, but it actually it came back up. And then I just ended up getting caught because there's just so much chop right here. So you guys can see the chop. If you guys don't know what chop is, it's basically when price is just choppy around like a certain price point or a certain area. It's just chopping between 650 and 600 right here. I was expecting price to climb up. So when I first saw this entry right here, I was expecting price to push up because we did have the bullish momentum. We had the bullish trend and I was expecting price to climb up here and just shoot up from this point, right? That's typically what happens. You guys can see it is happening here, the push to the upside. But the problem with this here is that it can't get past the 600 mark or the 650 mark. This is where the issue is. I can't get past this level right here. And again, you can see it's coming back down. There's entries right here that are coming up, but they're just not good entries because it just keeps getting pulled back into this middle level right here. So I should have given it a gap. That first loss that I took over here on this first candle, I should have waited a little bit before getting back in. But I was hoping that this right here would have just recovered from this one. And unfortunately, this is kind of where it's stuck at. So it doesn't really matter which trade you guys take, if you guys take a buy or a sell. I mean, there's chop in both directions. But right now, price is still bullish. So if you were looking to take something here, I would, for the most part, look for a buy. The other thing here that kind of pointed me towards the buy that made it look good was the divergence here. But again, because of the chop, it just pulls back and forth, even though the divergence here did shift it bullish. Jessica's asking if I'm using a 25-25. No, I'm using a 15-15. All the scalps here are 15-15, Jessica. The 25-25 are for the breakout entries. All right, so we will continue to look for any opportunities here. But again, guys, wait for price to break below the 600 or above the 650. You don't want to get caught in this chop. I already got caught twice. And I was expecting some direction today. It's kind of unusual that like the market's just well, I mean, this isn't unusual. It's unusual for the current conditions because this is normal for summer, but lately market hasn't really been chopping like this, at least not for YM. This is how NQ was moving yesterday. If you guys remember, it was pretty much choppy all morning. But for YM, it typically doesn't chop like this. It'll go sideways or it'll consolidate, but I mean, the chop here is like, it's a volatile chop. Let's see. CJ said it's crazy how the market is so choppy within the first 10 minutes of market open. Yeah, no, and that's what I mean because typically it's not choppy like this on open. You usually get some sort of direction and then you get the choppiness after. Usually between 6:30 and 7 is where the direction happens. And this is why I wasn't expecting this to chop back down like this. Usually it breaks out of the area, but right now it's still stuck within the middle over here. Yeah, Drew City, I usually creates a huge range. Typically, yes, that's what I was expecting here. Again, there's no movement here. It looks like the market's probably going to stay flat until Powell speaks over here at 7 o'clock. But yeah, that was pretty much my cue to sit out. I give myself basically 2 losses for the day. If I lose twice in one day, then I'm usually, for the most part, done for that specific day. Let's see. All right, so price still has not broken out of the chop. It's still within the two price structures here. It looks like price is attempting to break below. So price finally broke below the 600 right here. See if it actually closes below it. So if price does come back below from here, and it's probably going to push down to these lower levels of the target price point will be the Asia low down here. So price is dropping below it. You got about 15 seconds left on this candle. Looks like it's probably going to close below the 600. First levels of liquidity right here got hit. So it is closing below the 600 level. Let's see if it actually continues dropping or it pulls back into the range. I'll leave the liquidity there for now, as some of you guys look for that retest or the second touch. There you go, the retest, price is dropping further. Again, if price continues to drop, target price point is going to be the sessions down below here. So if price continues to drop, this is the target level. All right, let's see if it holds below here. So the liquidity right here has pretty much got knocked out. If you guys took those sells there, it looks like Sadie caught one. So nice work, Sadie, on catching that liquidity down below. Again, if you guys are looking for market flow entries, I would probably wait for price to retrace back a little bit, come back down. Looks like price is having trouble getting past the news right here. So just another obstacle again. Price had trouble getting past the 600 here. Now it's having trouble getting past this news price from earlier this morning. Here you can see prices are retracing back up. All right, so price is rejecting off the 600 mark right here. This is basically a levels entry. So if anybody took that levels entry right there, price came down, bounced up, came right back down. So there's a quick levels entry right there if anybody was looking to take that. Again, the target price point is still down below here. Quick levels entry as price came up, came back down. So it looks like there may be a fake out right here. Fake out for price to come up and then come right back down. So another levels bounce off the 600 mark. As you guys can see, price is probably going to pull back into the range. This looks like a fake out down here, not a full move. And then back into the range up here. There's not enough time for it to swing back down, so I don't think this is coming back down right now. Yep, and there we go. So again, price is back into the chop. Pulled down right here, but it didn't actually continue dropping. Pulled down, faked out below the 600 level, and it came right back up. So now it's back in the same range that it was in earlier up here. So there was no entries right there. Price never really came up and then came back down. Again, if you were looking for an entry here, you'd look for price to bounce off the pivot and then come right back down super sharply. But it never came back down. Price came back up to retest it, but it didn't come back down. So it's back here in the middle chop from market open. And we are now just waiting for this here to play through. All right, so again, we're just waiting, guys. There's not much here happening. So Nick said his liquidity went 5 points in green, then it hit stop loss. Market's too volatile. Yeah, exactly. It's too volatile right now without direction. That's the worst part. Like it would be fine if this was happening. Like there's volatility and it's moving directional. But right here, it's in a whipsaw pattern. So the price is just whipsawing back and forth. Market opened up right here at 6:30, came up, whipsawed down, came back up, whipsawed back down. It's just whipsawing back and forth. The midpoint right here is the range. So everything outside here is pretty much just fake out territory. So again, same thing that you want to look for here, guys. Probably just wait for price to break out of this area here, because there's just no reason to trade within the chop, within the 650 and the 600 mark. So again, if you want to take some buys, wait for price to get past the 650 here and then climb up higher. Or if you want to take some sells, wait for price to come below here and retest. Again, the target price point is still down here. So the Asia low has not gotten hit yet, or this liquidity. So price can easily come back down. The only problem with this here is that you don't want to get caught in here because this is where you'll get faked out. This is where I took my losses earlier. Again, we're currently break even for the week, guys. So looking over here at the results so far, we had a win on Monday right here, 15 points. We had a win on Tuesday here, 15 points. And then today I kind of traded on tilt a little bit. First trade over here, I got in a little too early. And then I got in right away on the next one here looking to recover. Ended up taking 2 losses because I ended up trading within the chop right here. So I got caught with price not being able to get out of this 650 level right here. Price pushed up, it didn't really touch it. It got close to it. I got in a little too early. And then I got stopped out, of course. So it's all good. It's all part of the game. We still have 2 days ahead. So for today, I'm going to sit out of my own account. And then tomorrow I will pick back up and bounce back from it. It was kind of my plan all along because, so today I took these riskier trades because tomorrow I'm going to be trading a little more aggressively to try to pass the accounts. I'm not sure what I know that Apex. So this is the reason why I'm going to be trading my evals aggressively. Apex, I believe they just reset the promo. So I think this is like a good time to take advantage. For me personally, I think it's a good time to take advantage because I can probably try to pass basically all the rest of the accounts this week, or a majority of them. Because you have 21 days. If I'm not sure if the resets are on promo. They haven't sent an email yet. So what I'm hoping for is that the resets are on promo so that I can kind of go very aggressive on my accounts tomorrow. Pass about 10 of the 300Ks, and then maybe another half on Friday. And I'll swap and I'll have 20 PAs by then. Because I already have 5 PAs right now. So I'll get those done. And then the rest 5, I'll just take those slow if necessary. Because I'll have full 20 PAs. And I still need to request the withdrawal or the payouts for the initial 5 accounts. Yeah, Drew. So tomorrow's CPI and then Friday is PPI. I'm expecting some volatility tomorrow. So I haven't gotten the email from Apex shit about their promo. Their Discord isn't up, so I can't see if there's any promo. I can't see what the promo actually is. But it says 80% evals in 1 day to pass. So I'm assuming they're going to send the email out today so that you guys know what's on promo. But the main thing that's really important is the 1 day pass, right? The resets are fine if the regular price, but if they're 35, it's it's a no-brainer because you basically have 21 days to go and just get them done ASAP. Okay, perfect, Drew. So Drew checked. He said the resets are still 35. Okay, that's perfect then. So I'll see you tomorrow for CPI. Yeah, let's check the news calendar for tomorrow. So tomorrow we have CPI news. We have a lot of news pre-market. And then Friday we have PPI. So we'll see. And there's nothing during the market. So this is perfect. Tomorrow we have pre-market news, so the volatility will be up, and then we'll have some direction on open. We have some natural gas stock change at 7:30. And then on Friday, we have news pre-market PPI, producer price index. And then at 7, we have Michigan consumer sentiment. So there's probably gonna be some volatility between 6:30 and 7 for tomorrow and Friday. Today, there's just not much because I feel like a lot of people are just waiting for Powell to speak. Again, price is still within the chop right here down the middle. Price has not gone anywhere. Again, like I said, if you're looking for entries, wait for price to break out of this chop, come back below the 600 mark, and then come down to the target. Or if price pushes up, wait for it to push above the 650 here and take trades to the upside. But right now, you don't want to trade within this middle area. I'll come back to CNBC to see if whenever Powell starts to speak. All right, so price is now below the 600 mark again, guys. This may be opportunity for you to start looking for some sells. Again, not yet, but wait for it to come below. This is the pattern you want to look for. You want price to come below, retest, and come back down. You want to wait for the continuation because it could just be another fake out like this right here. But my guess is if it comes down further, I think this is going to come down now because Powell's going to be speaking in about 6 minutes. I think this is going to be a manipulated push to the downside. So this is kind of what I expect to happen here. This is similar to what happened yesterday before Powell spoke, right? Price came down super heavily. And then eventually when Powell spoke, price climbed back up. So that's kind of what I'm expecting here. This is just like pre-Powell market manipulation. There's no entries here yet. I'll tell you guys if some entries come up, but again, right now, there are still no entries. I'll come back and take a look when Powell speaks, but he has not spoken yet. Yeah, Drew said retail dropped 2 points from pre-market. Now let's take a look at retail sentiment real quick. Yeah, so it's currently 59% short. There's still a lot of retail on the sell side. So back to what I was saying earlier with me stop trading today, guys. Like I'm currently at break even for the week, so I'm okay. And that's another reason why I needed to stop, right? Trading on tilt, if you guys don't know what that is, that's basically trading off emotion, trying to revenge trade, trying to overtrade, etc. Once you start to realize that you're trading on tilt, it's best to just stop trading for the day. You can always come back later if you really want to trade for the rest of the day, but my opinion is that you should just stop trading for the rest of the day because when you trade on tilt, the odds of you making more and more mistakes are very likely. So for me, my cutoff is usually 1 or 2 trades. Typically, it's just 1 trade, but since I half my risk in half, I'm able to take 2 trades. Because typically I'll take like 1 big contract size, like a 20 contract. Now I'm taking like a 12, I think, or 15 on a riskier day. And that just allows me to take 2 trades instead of 1. So I already took my 2 losses for the day, back at break even for the week. So I'm okay. I'd rather be at break even than at loss, of course. Right. I think that's how you guys should always approach it. If you guys know you're up 2 for the week and you lose 2 and you know you're at break even, it's probably best to stop because you don't want to be trading to a point where you just end up digging a hole that's too deep for you to get out of. All right, price is still below the 600 mark, guys. I don't see any opportunities for entry here yet. Again, you're looking for price to come up sharply and come back down and bounce off some sort of structure. There was an entry right here, I guess, off the levels, but for me personally, I like to see a rejection off the pivots here. Let's see, Abraham's asking, hey Sean, can you give me a brief on Apex? It's 1-step phase challenge. I mean, it depends on your account size. So depending on which account size you're doing, typically you have to make a 6% profit. So it is a 1-step challenge or 1-phase challenge. You just have to make the profit and not reach the trailing stop goal, and you're pretty much good. Depending on the account that you take, the bigger accounts are harder to pass. 50K will be the easiest account to pass because it's like a pretty balanced profit target and trailing stop. The 150 is probably the best overall because it's still pretty balanced, but you get a bigger account, of course. The 300K is going to be the hardest to pass, of course, if you're going to be taking it slow. Right now, they have a bunch of promos going on with Apex, so I think it's like the best time to pass the 300K. You can take on more risk. The account sizes are 80% off, so it's super cheap. You missed the last promo. The promo from last month was $40, so that was I mean that was like a steal. So like if you guys have any of those $40 accounts, I would just hold on to them because they're that's probably as cheap as it'll ever get. Because right now it's 80%, so I mean it's cheap, but it's not that cheap. It's not cheap as cheap as it was. Yeah, so 667. It's still like 137, I believe. So basically, if you got the $40 promo, it's like you can buy 3 accounts for the cost of one. All right, guys, so we have price rejecting off the pivot right here. If this comes back down red, there's a possible opportunity here to take a sell. It didn't come back down red, so there's no entry there. The volatility here is pretty dead. It's pulling back into the chop above the 600 level over here. So yeah, Abraham, the promo, I don't know if it's the same promo right now, but the promo from last month was like extremely cheap. And then I think they even had for the funded accounts, it was like a super cheap lifetime on it. I don't know. They haven't sent an email. That same promo might still be going on. So you probably want to look out for the email. I'll let you guys know when I get it. Let me check my emails right now. So I don't see anything here from Apex yet. But I mean, either way, the current promo is still good. Let's see. CJ said I'm done for the day, guys. See you tomorrow. All right, CJ, we'll see you back here tomorrow. There's not really much going on, guys. So again, if you guys don't have to trade, I probably would sit out the market. Price just keeps pulling back into this range up here. It just fakes out below, doesn't really provide any entries, and then it kind of just sits over here down the middle. So, I mean, again, you want to wait for price to break below. We have Powell speaking right now, or he's supposed to be speaking right now. Check CNBC real quick. All right, so Powell's actually speaking before the committee today. So today's supposed to be bigger. He hasn't started yet, but he's speaking before the House. Yesterday was the committee. Today he's speaking before the House. So you guys can see they're starting to set up right now. Haven't started yet. Okay, they're about to start. So you'll probably see some volatility here pick up because Powell is now going to start speaking very soon. Yeah, Sadie said he's waiting for the cluster of liquidity below. There's a lot of liquidity down here, guys. So as you guys can see, a bunch of liquidity right there at the Asia low. That's gonna be the first target that I'm expecting price to hit if it drops. But again, price is still within the middle range right here between the 650 and the 600 mark. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so Drew said that they're still on sale. So here, let me give you the link, Abraham, for uh or if you're in the Discord, you can see it over here. I'll put the link there so that if you use this code, you can get basically a 150K count, 250 or 300K count for $40. It's super cheap. I mean, it's a steal because you can get like a bunch of accounts for basically dirt cheap. So yeah, Drew over here just confirmed it. Thanks, Drew, for confirming it. Nice. Yeah, so it's $40 for an account on the higher end, and the lifetime fees are 85. So it's a steal. I mean, this is like the best time to pass the accounts. Like you can pretty much, I know I typically tell you guys to take things slow and to not YOLO the accounts, but with the promo so cheap, it's I mean, it's like the best time because you can literally pass your account within like one day. So yeah, I typically never tell you guys to do that because, you know, the accounts are usually pretty expensive. like for FTMO, it was like $1,000, right? To get an account. So I would never recommend that you guys YOLO an account. But with Apex, it's like you can trade the account, and if you blow the account, it's like $30 to reset it. It's like it's like the cost of lunch, right? So you can start a 300K account, you can pretty much trade it as aggressive as you like. And then if you screw up, it's like $35 to reset it, or you can buy a new account for $40, and that's like the cost of lunch. And then once you pass that, the activation fee is a lot cheaper. It's like 85. Normally the activation fee is like $200. So I mean, this is the best time to pass the account so that once you're funded, you can just lower your risk. Like on all my PA accounts, I lower my risk. I don't really have much at risk on my PA accounts. Like I could trade those accounts forever and still be fine. But the eval phase is usually like the most annoying part because it takes forever to get everything done. All right, guys. So Powell is about to start speaking, I think, or they're still setting up. It looks like he looked like he was about to start speaking. Again, price is still within the range right here down the middle, guys. Nothing's changed here from our analysis. If you want to take some trades, wait for price to push above the 650, or if you want to take some sells, wait for price to push below the 600 and actually stay below there. Again, the target price point, if price continues to drop lower, is going to be the liquidity down here. And the price up here is if price pushes up higher to this next level. So I'll keep following it, but right now there's just no direction. Yeah, there's just nothing really here to work with or even take. This price just sitting down the middle. All right, looks like Powell is about to start speaking. Never mind, I take that back. They are not ready yet. Okay, so this is probably going to be flat until Powell actually starts to speak. Looks like they're now starting, guys. So they're starting. Let's see if the volatility here picks up. It's probably not going to pick up until Powell speaks. Right now, they're just going over the overview for the agenda for today. And then Powell will start responding probably the next, 10, 15 minutes. All right, so we'll just keep watching this here, guys. I'll let you guys know when Powell starts speaking. They're just going over the agenda right now. If you guys want to follow it, here, I'll post a link for you guys too. All right, let me grab this link for you guys here. I posted the link there on the YouTube, also posted a link here on the Zoom. If you guys want to follow Powell speaking, you guys can. I don't think it's really necessary. I'll kind of give you guys a heads up when something happens, and then you guys can look at the charts here to see a market reaction. You basically just want to see how the market reacts to whatever Powell has to say. He covered most of this stuff yesterday already, so I don't think there's going to be too much of a surprise. And I think that's kind of why price here is flat because people aren't necessarily trading. There's no liquidity in the market right now, since a lot of people already expect or they already know what to expect, since Powell pretty much said everything yesterday already. All right, so price is still within the range, guys. Again, just two things to keep in mind: the 650 level right here and the 600 level. Those are the main things you guys are looking for. Again, price is currently retesting the 600 level right here. If you want to look for entry, look for price to break below and continue climbing from here. It's not there yet, but that is what we are looking for. I'm gonna test something out over here on my. Let me mute this real quick. I don't want you guys to think I'm in anything. So I'm testing out this trailing stop that Nick was helping me with. I don't know if you're still here, Nick, but I'm gonna try it out on the sim account just to make sure it's working. Once there's volatility though. Right now there's no volatility, of course. It's curious to see how it works. All right, so Pal's still not speaking yet, guys. They're just doing an overview of like what they're gonna cover today. They're asking him questions and just talking about what's gonna be discussed. But Pal has not made any response or any remarks yet. So once Powell makes responses, that's usually where the volatility starts to pick up. Right now, price is just sitting here at the 600 level. All right, still nothing going on here, guys. Powell hasn't spoken yet. Again, price is just sitting right here at the 600 mark. Basically at opening price. All right, come back over here. Miss Waters is now speaking. Again, Powell still has not made any responses yet. CRX is asking, what do you use to copy your trades? I use Replicano. So if you guys have any of those questions, just go to the FAQs over here. I have links here too. This is what pretty much majority of people here use. There's a couple options you can use. There's this right here if you're using NinjaTrader. A lot of us use Replicano, and this here has a discount as well. That's what I use. That's what I mean. Pretty much everybody here uses. The other one that people use is the group trader through Tradeovate. The only problem with the group trader is that you can't set a TP stop loss. There's no automatic TP stop loss. So that's like the downside of using the group trader. I mean, the group copier is fine. It's just there's a contract size cap, and then on top of that, there's also a you can't have ATM, so you can't have an automatic TP stop loss. So those are the main downsides to having, the group copier. But I mean, it's not bad. That the only reason you'd use a group copier is if you're not on a PC. So if you're on a Mac, you can't really trade unless you're using parallels on NinjaTrader, and then you have to use Tradeovate. You would just have to do everything manually. So you could manually enter and then manually exit, but there's no automatic TP stop loss like what we typically use. But if you're fast with clicking, I mean, it's not a big deal. A lot of people still use that as well. But if you use this one, Replicano, that we have on the Discord, this one's pretty much it's like every other copier we've used. Like you have one main account, it executes trades, and then it pretty much just copies over to the other accounts. And there's always like different options that you can choose with regard to the method of risk, and it's just more customizable. So yeah, those are the two main options. The third option is if you're on Rhythmic, you can use Sierra. So if you're on Rhythmic, you can use Sierra. I haven't used that, but there's a couple of people in the group who do use it. Sierra is just another platform where you can pretty much log into multiple Rhythmic accounts. So those are your three options: Replicano on NinjaTrader, TraderBait Group Trader on the web, or Sierra if you're using Rhythmic. And those are the three main ones. All right, cool. I don't know if Nick's here. Nick, I tried the thing. Let me see. I tried the I don't think Nick's here right now. Nick probably go drop off his kid. I tried out the trailing stop. So if you guys are on NinjaTrader, there's a way to set your trailing stop, which Nick showed me, which is pretty cool. Like what I have is I have it set to when price comes down to 13 points, it moves my stop loss in profit to basically 13 points. So I guarantee the 13 points. So I either get 13 points or 15 points. It's pretty good. It's a lot better than I expected. So if anybody's interested in that, it's a pretty cool tool. I'm gonna keep playing around with it here to see if I can see how it works, but it's a pretty cool tool to basically to automatically set your TP stop loss. Yeah, I'm just playing with it right now. So I'm right here. I'm an NinjaTrader. I have my sim account that I'm just executing the trades on, and I'm looking to see how it plays, like if it moves properly, and it looks good. So whenever it drops down, so what happens is that when it drops down to 13 points, my stop loss gets dropped down to 13 points. So I basically guarantee 13 points in profit, or if it drops to the full TP, I get the full 15. So it's pretty interesting. And you don't have to do anything, it's all automated. So once you have it set under your ATM strategy, it pretty much does it with every trade. Yeah, exactly, Drew. It's under custom stop strategy. Let me see if I could find it here. One second, guys. I'm just watching it. I want to see how it moves my stop loss and profit, because I'm not sure exactly how it works. I've only seen it once right now. So right now, the trade that I'm currently in, I just technically, well, I got into this one right here when it came down, and I'm now watching it as it comes down lower. Okay, so I'll just leave it as is, and let me get the settings for that. I think Nick sent them to me, which I could also post in yeah, the market volatility is super low right now. The ATR is actually really low. It's currently at 16 ATR. All right, so here are the settings right here. So these are the settings right here. If you guys are looking to set up your trailing stop. Again, I would recommend trying it out on your sim account to make sure that it works. I've been playing around with it right here though, and it does work, so it does work well. So basically, you go into your ATM strategy, and then you go to edit, and then you'll have your stop strategy right here. You'll set that to custom, and then once you set it to custom, these are the settings right here. So this basically shows that when price reaches profit target of 13, it'll move your stop loss to break even. But then you add this here 10, it actually moves it into profit to basically guarantee 13 points or 10 points. I'm not sure exactly where is it at. Again, I've only used this once for today. I set it up this morning. So I got to figure out how it, like where it actually moves to, or I got to ask Nick. But I mean, it looks like it works because I'm just watching it how it automatically shifts your stop loss and profit once you reach 13 points. Yeah, Rashida said that Tradeovate has it as well. That's what I was thinking too, Drew, 10 points, which makes sense. Like I'm fine with 10 points, right? If price hits 13 points and it pulls back, I'm fine with it going to 10 points because at least you're getting like the bulk of the profit. Yeah, there goes the settings right there, guys. So if you guys want to thank Nick, you guys can thank Nick later. Nick's been using this and he's only had one loss for the whole month of July because his trailing stop just pretty much pulls him in profit whenever he's deep in profit in case it, ends up whipsawing back in the opposite direction. So I think it's super useful, especially on your PA accounts. It's like super useful because you're basically closing the risk whenever you're like pretty deep in profit. Yeah, auto trail is set to none. I mean, basically right here, these are the exact same settings that I use. These are the settings that Nick uses, and I just put them in mine. So yeah, auto trail is set to none. And I'm just playing around with it. Again, I'm doing it on my sim account, so I don't really care like what happens with it. I'm just like kind of entering trades when I see entries, and I'm trying to see how it adjusts. The problem with today's market is that it's moving so slow that you can't really see what's going on. That's the downside to testing it right now because there's no direction. Like you can't just take a sell and then look for it to push in that direction to see the stop loss get adjusted. Like right now, I'm still in this position from earlier. The one here that I was testing out. Where was it at? I think it was like this one right here. So I'm still technically in this position from earlier. I was hoping to see the trailing stop work, but I mean, if it swings up, I'll just swing the entry back to a buy. But I'm not in any positions, guys. I'm not in any actual positions. I'm just testing out the trailing stop feature. Um, like I said earlier, guys, I'm done trading for the day. I took 2 losses today. They're for half risk, so they technically added up to just 1 loss. Um, I've been taking everything half risk now. So if you guys have seen my profits lately, my profits have not been as big as they usually are because I'm taking half risk now so that I can pretty much allocate the risk. So 1 win on Monday, 1 win on Tuesday, 2 losses today. They're all at half risk. I'm at break even for the week. See, we got some profits here from Deswell. Let's work Deswell. Let me see if I could copy this over to our team profits. Okay, so here are the team profits so far. We have Drew over here. Drew locked in a total profit of 1,078 per funded account here. So he locked in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Profit of well over 8,000 for the day. Nice work, Drew. 8,628. We got Lamal here. He took the loss with me earlier. He's down a little bit, just about 600 per account or 300 per account, a little slightly different per account. So it's all good. Small loss there. Basically at break even for the week, just like I am. We got David over here, total profit of 150 for the day. Nice work, David. All wins. We have Jonathan over here locked in about a break even. Yeah, basically a break even day here. So Jonathan locked in 55 for the day. Due to the commissions here, he's like slightly in the red, about -22. So he's basically at break even just like me. And then we have Deswell over here. Deswell locked in a total profit of 7,177 for the day. Nice work, Deswell. All right, so those are the profits so far. Again, there's not really much going on with price over here, guys. It's just going back and forth. Um, the interesting thing is that Powell is speaking, but the volatility is still pretty flat. So, I mean, I guess something will happen here eventually, but for the most part, the volatility here is pretty flat. I was hoping I could play around with that auto trail tool, but my trade's still running. I'm like basically like right down the middle. It's not dropping far enough for me to have the TP automatically or the stop loss move into profit. Let's see, Rashida said I would like a buy for levels at 650. Yeah, same here. So there's just no directional move here, guys. I mean, again, like I said earlier, if price is below the 600, you could possibly look for some sells here. I was hoping that some direction, some volatility to pick up when Powell started speaking, but Powell is speaking right now and there's no volatility. The volatility is still flat. Again, if you guys are looking for buys, you want price to push up above these 650 over here. So I wouldn't trade within this middle area right here. It's not really worth the risk. You can possibly look for some sells here if the volatility picks up, but I mean, the volatility is still pretty flat at this moment. ATR is currently at 14. I mean, surprisingly, the ATR is so low right now when such a big event's going on. All right, I'm gonna look at my trailing stop because price is finally dropping. I'm still in the sell position from earlier, testing out this trailing stop. Let's see, profit is at 8 points. And now it's back at neutral. I just want to see it move because it looked pretty cool earlier when it moved. It dropped down to 13, then my profit moved down. I'm pretty sure it's 10 points like Drew said. But again, I want to see it happen again. All right, 7 points profit. It's getting closer and then it just volatility dies down. Okay, perfect. Let me see if this moves down. Kind of curious to see where the 10 points is at. All right, I'm gonna watch my Ninja just to see how my stop loss moves in profit. It's currently in profit 10 points, finally. And I'm gonna see here if it moves down to the 10-point mark, which I'm assuming it does. And it pulls back up. Man, I wish price would just come down a little further. So oh, there we go. Okay, you're right. That was nice. Okay, yeah, so the trailing stop works really nice. I just tested it right now, and you're right, Drew, it does drop down to 10-point profit. So what happened here was, let me show you guys what happened here. I'll try to show you guys like what it looked like on my end. So what happened here with the trailing stop tool that I just shared with you guys, if you guys have these settings set up, is when price dropped down to 13 points, right here, my stop loss dropped to 10 points, right here. So when it dropped down to 10 points like that, I basically guaranteed 10 points or I went for the full 15. Price ended up spiking down to the 15, and then I ended up pulling out for full profit right there on my sim account. So that's a cool tool, guys. I mean, if you guys want to use it, it's pretty nice. Like you don't have to do anything. The stop loss will just get automatically adjusted for you. So you basically guarantee 10 or 15 points. And that's solid. Yeah, it's for Ninja Maria. I don't know if what's set up for Rhythmic if you guys are using that. Yeah, Juice said scared of the copier though. So when you do that, make sure that you're looking at your copier as well and you flatten everything after. Yeah, no, and I agree with you too, Drew, because it happens so quickly. But I'm pretty sure it works the same way. Like, you know, if you were to exit a position on your personal account or whatever account your main account is, it's just basically like closing out. But due to slippage, sometimes you want to make sure that you flatten everything out. Because if you start to use tools like that and they're copying to your other accounts, you want to make sure that it actually closes everything. Yeah, Drew said there was a directional movement when Powell ended yesterday. Yeah, I saw that. There's more direction actually after Powell's done speaking. Right now, he's still kind of going back and forth with Mr. Henry, but there's no market reaction here, right? The market's super slow. The ATR is currently at 13 right now. It's actually really slow at this point. All right, the volatility is picking back up right here a little bit. We're getting pre-news movement here. The gas stock change is going to come up right here at 7:30. I'm done playing with my Ninja Trader for the day, so I'm going to just close it out. Like I said, I'm not going to revenge trade anything here. So laptop's off, not taking any more trades. I played with the my sim account to see if I could trade the auto trailing stop, and it works perfectly fine. So I'm going to be using that moving forward. All right, we have news right here at 7:30. It's gas stock change. So right here, EIA gas stock change was negative, and you can see prices moving down in reaction to the news. There's not really too much going on though, like with regard to Powell. I was hoping that it was going to move a lot more, but as you guys can see, that's not the case here. All right, we got Powell making some responses. So right now they're just discussing, I mean, the same thing they talked about yesterday, just interest rates. Again, if price drops lower, the target price point is going to be the Asia low right here. The Asia low lines up with the liquidity. So there's a cluster of liquidity down here. If price finally makes its way down, it hasn't made its way down yet. It just keeps going back and forth. But yeah, ideally, if price drops down, it's probably going to blast right through this liquidity down here. Most likely, that's probably what's going to happen when it happens. So, I mean, obviously here it looks like we're currently in a selling bias. Price is below the pivots. The trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. We have sell momentum right here. The only thing here is the divergence here is kind of bullish, but it can shift back down. However, I mean, overall here, pointing towards a sell, of course. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Of course, right now there's just nothing going on. I'm not trading for the day because I've taken my losses already. So I'm at my limit for the day. I think the max loss I'll take for the day is 2 trades. Since I have half my risk in half, that's equivalent to 1 loss. Typically, I'd only take 1 loss, but because I've half the risk, I can go for 2 for the most part. But again, tomorrow I'll be trading a lot more aggressive. I might even trade pre-market. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. Well, I don't know yet. We'll see how the market's moving pre-market. But there's a lot of news happening tomorrow pre-market. So at 5:30, we have initial jobless claims 4-week average, continuing jobless claims, CPI. This is the main thing. So the main thing that you're looking for tomorrow is a CPI news. The jobless claims are big too, but the CPI is going to be the biggest thing. So CPI inflation rate, core inflation rate month over month, year over year, and of course, gas stock change again tomorrow. Smaller gas stock change. But I'm expecting some volatility tomorrow. Nothing like this. I mean, obviously there's volatility this morning, but it wasn't very directional. Price just kept going back and forth. I'm expecting some directional push tomorrow. Or at 5:30, you're going to see a big spike. From what I've noticed for PPI and CPI, price typically spikes at least 100 points at a minimum. So not always, but for the most part, yeah, around that. around that that time or that price movement. Yeah, Drew said see you at 5:30, Sean. And all right. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if I do really well pre-market, I probably won't trade during the actual live session, or I might trade during the live session, but only my PA accounts and my personal account. The evals are they're gonna get drilled pre-market for sure. I'm gonna try to get those funded, at least half of them. Try to get half of them funded for the most part. So that's like 10 accounts. And maybe another 5 on Friday. Say, please come. No, I'll be live tomorrow, Sadie. So I for sure will be live tomorrow. Like our normal live session will be on. I just probably won't be trading all my accounts because probably half my PA accounts are gonna get beat up and the other PA accounts are gonna be funded already. So we'll see. But I'll still be trading regularly, so I'll be looking for regular trades. All right, guys. So there's not really too much going on here. Again, if you guys have questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. The ATR is super low right now. It's currently at 13. This is really low for a big event like this right now with Powell speaking. I'm not too surprised because this is kind of what happened yesterday. This is I mean, this is pretty much what happened when Powell spoke yesterday, right? Yesterday we traded before Powell got on before 7. We made our profit and then the market got pretty slow after. So I'm not super surprised here, but I am a little surprised that it's not going anywhere. Like I'm okay with a slow movement if it trails down or if it trails up. But right here, price is just really ranging. Now the new range is between the 600 and the 550 down here. Okay, question from Steven. Steven's asking if I buy multiple accounts, do I have to pay 280 for lifetime for PA for each and every account? Well, I mean, the promo is going on right now, so I think the activation is a lot cheaper, but yeah, you do have to pay the PA account for each account. That's why the eval is so cheap. Because if you add the PA account with the eval account, it ends up being the cost of like a regular. It's still cheaper than a regular account, but the fees are kind of split up. Yeah, exactly, Stephen. If you have 20 accounts, you'd pay 20 fees. If you have 5 accounts, you'll pay 5 fees. Yeah, it's around that. Well, if you're paying the full price, again, Stephen, there's a promo going on. Promo's been going on for 2 months. So if you fit the promo, you're not going to pay the full price. But yeah, that's the cost. You know, it's still cheaper than it would be if you're buying 20 FTMO accounts, right? An FTMO account for 200K was, what was it? Like 1,600, 1,800 around there. So if you're paying for 20, I mean, you do the math, Stephen. If you're paying, so here's the thing that like a lot of people don't understand. The fees are split up. So like what Steven said is if you buy an account for like right now, if you buy a 300K account, it's $40 for the account, right? You pay 40 bucks for the account, and then once you pass, you pay the activation fee, which I think is 180 right now, or it's cheaper. It's like under 100 bucks. It's like 80 bucks. So if you pass an account right now within the 20 days, right now the promo is going on for Apex. So you got about 21 days to pass an account. You get 80% off the eval, and then the accounts are discounted, plus the PA accounts are discounted. So you're basically paying 120 per account. So that's cost of the account eval plus cost of the PA. Like Steven said before, or what Steven is talking about right now, is if you're paying full price, the full price would be like, I think it's 366 for a 300K account. And then on top of that, the PA fee is 280. So you'd be paying like 646 for a 300K account, right? On Apex. Okay, in comparison to FTMO, I think it was 800, 1,800. this is how much you pay. You're still paying half, like less than half the price of a smaller account with FTMO. So if you guys do the math, it's still way cheaper with Apex, and on top of that, if you do the promo, it's even way more cheaper than that. So let's see. Steven said, I see so many members buying so many accounts. Are they using their profit split to buy them? For the most part, yeah, it's typically what a lot of people do, right? You get a few accounts, you get funded on those, you get your profit split, and then use that to buy more accounts. For myself, I have cash saved up from like all of my other trading that I've been doing for the year, so I don't really have to use my profit split to pay for my accounts. I can just pay for them outright. So I mean, it depends on the person. So if you don't have any money, of course, your only option is to use the payout splits. But if you have money saved up from previous trading, like I've been training with you guys for years now, I don't really have to use my profit splits to get the accounts. I can just pay for them all up front. So all of my accounts, I've paid for them pretty much all up front. And then I have a couple PAs right now. So right now I currently have 5 active PAs. And then tomorrow I'm anticipating to get another 10. And on Friday, I'm anticipating to get another 5. So I'll have 20. I had 20 PAs before when I had the 150s, but then I try to swap them with the 300Ks, and the 300Ks just tipped forever to get past. So I mean, that's the downside of having the bigger account, because the profit goal is so high and the trailing stop loss is so low. Yes, Steven, you answered your own question. So Steven said, so they're using their profit split to also pay for PA. Yeah, I mean, you can use your profit split for whatever you want, Steven. If you want to go buy a hamburger later, you can go buy a hamburger. If you want to go buy an account, you can go buy an account. If you want to pay for your PA, you can pay for. You can do whatever you want with your profit split. Again, I pay for them up front, so I don't know what other people are doing, but I'm pretty sure that's what people are doing if they don't have the money to pay for it up front. So yeah, when you get your profit split, you could spend it on whatever you want, Steven. You can spend it on more accounts. You can spend it on yourself. You could spend it on, I mean, whatever your heart desires, Stephen. I know you got a lot of things you want to buy, so you don't have to use it on new accounts. You can if you want, but you can, ideally, if you want to grow your money, that's kind of what you would do. And yeah, they just add them to the copier. I mean, that's the easiest way to trade it, unless you want to trade them hand by, like one by one. I mean, you can trade them one by one. There's people who trade their accounts one by one just to minimize risk. But if you want to trade them on a copier, that's kind of how everybody else does it for the most part. I mean, that's the easiest way to do it, because you can just lower your risk. If you have like 20 accounts, instead of taking like a 10 contract size, you can take like 2 contracts per account, and then the risk is pretty much allocated across all the accounts versus just having one big account. So there's 2 different ways of doing it, Steven. Some people will just trade one account at a time, and they'll trade a lot of contracts, and they'll just risk that one account. Majority of people, they'll trade all 20 accounts with a smaller contract size, and in total, their profits will add up to X amount. Yeah, I mean, you can use whatever contract size you want. I don't use 2 contracts, but yeah, I mean, if you wanted to do that, you could. So here are my contract sizes for all my PA accounts, guys. For my 300Ks, I use 7 contracts. For my 250Ks, I use 6 contracts. And for my 100K PAs, I use 3 contracts. That's pretty much all I use for my accounts. The way that I calculate the risk is that I have to, in order for me to lose my accounts on my PAs, I have to lose 14 trades. So basically 7 days back to back in order for me to blow the accounts. That's probably not going to happen. So I give myself enough cushion to withstand any drawdown that does happen. Like for example, today I took 2 losses. That counts for 1 day, right? In order for me to blow my PAs, I have to lose another 12 trades. Like I have to lose 12 trades back to back to back before I blow my account. So I use proper risks. So I don't have to worry about it. See, Rashida said market flow came in for a buy at 1040, which would be 740 here. Nice. I could see that. It could have happened right here. It could have happened on, it looks like either candle really. Could have happened right here at 740. Could even happen right here on the 741 candle. So it looks like it pulled down pretty strong. Yeah, either one. Looks like this one could have played out. And then, I mean, even this one could have played out. Man, I'm surprised there's no direction here. So the volatility is still really low. It's currently at 13 ATR. The direction here is, I mean, the direction's pretty flat. So price pulled up above the 600 level and then it pulled right back below. So, I mean, realistically, it looks like the range is now below here. And price is kind of faking out above this area. So main focus should be down here right now. Probably only look for sells, ideally. So from what I'm seeing here, it looks like price still wants to come down and hit the liquidity down here. Hasn't came down yet. Maybe on this next try, it'll come down and actually hit. But yeah, as of now, it hasn't came down yet. Let's see, Steven's asking, how is the schedule for payouts? Has it changed recently? No, it's the same. So it's twice a month. Basically, you can make requests around the 15th, I believe. I don't know this. You could check on the FAQs, Steven. A lot of these questions, like they're all in the FAQs. If you ever have any questions regarding, because I know you asked me a lot of questions that like I don't even know the answer of because I don't really care for those things. Like it doesn't really matter to me. I like you got to be profitable. You got to make profits. Like the thing is, you're not going to get your payout every 2 weeks, Steven. Like I could almost guarantee you're not going to get it every 2 weeks because you have to trade every single day, and you're not going to trade every single day. So if you ever have questions, Steven, just go to the FAQ right here, and you just type whatever question you want, right? Like literally any question that you have, payout. You type that in. How do payouts work? You got a whole page right here with all your answers, Steven. But I'll answer your question now. But for the most part, if you're ever curious, because I know you have a lot of questions that like can be easily found here. The payouts happen every 2 weeks, or yeah, basically every 2 weeks, the 15th and at the end of the month. So basically middle of the month and end of the month. That's typically when you get the payout schedule. But again, if you want to get paid out every 2 weeks, you have to trade every single day because you need a 10 trading day minimum. So say, for example, if you traded on from July 1st up until July 15th, if you traded every single day, you could request a payout on the 15th. If you didn't trade every single day, then you'd have to wait for the next payout, which should be at the end of the month. For me personally, I don't trade every single day, so every 2 weeks is not really likely. I do my payouts usually at the end of the month. So for this right here, for this current payout schedule, I'm probably not going to be able to request a payout on the 15th or right. I think the payout window is open right now between the 10th and the 15th. Because if you look at my trades over here, let's see. So if you look at my trades, I didn't take certain trades on certain days. So I took a trade last Monday, last Tuesday, last Wednesday, but I didn't trade Thursday or Friday because Thursday was a holiday and Friday was, I just didn't trade on that day. So I can't request a payout on the 15th. I'll have to request a payout on the 30th, whatever the last day of the month is. But yeah, if you ever have any specific questions regarding Apex, because I know you were asking about this yesterday, like I don't have an answer to your question because I don't really follow. Like a lot of stuff that you asked is kind of relevant, right? Like leverage. So I know you asked about leverage yesterday. I don't really care what the leverage is because you have a max contract size. You don't really the leverage doesn't matter because you're already capped at your contract size. It's baked in. So if you're using a 300K account, your max contract size is 35 contracts and your max trailing drawdown is 7,500. So it doesn't matter what the leverage is because either way you still have to adhere to the contract size. And like there's no way you're going to go over that because you'll just blow your account like right away. So yeah, that's kind of what the numbers are looking like. Let's see. Steven said, I want to make a full-time income doing this. That's why I'm asking. I mean, it's possible to make a full-time income doing this, but you got to actually be profitable first, Steven. Like, make your profit first. Like, I know you want to have big goals of like making this full-time income. Like, I could use this as a full-time income myself. Every payout I get is about it's about 8 to 10,000. It's not a lot because I only have a few accounts, but when I have all the accounts, that's going to multiply to like times five. So I mean, yeah, for me, I'm every month I'm doing a payout of around like 10,000. So that times 12. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's enough. So that's how much I'd probably be getting. Well, for now, that's what I'm getting right now through Apex. And then on top of that, I have my personal account. So for my personal account, I'm probably making maybe like 2,000 a week. Or no, more than that. I think 2,500 a week times four times 12. So you add that together. That's currently where it's at just from trading. And on top of that, I have other stuff that I'm also, and this is just for now, right? Because now this is what we're building up on. And then once I have the 20 accounts, it's going to be a lot more. Because, for example, so for each account, it's about like maybe 2,000 per account, right? Times 20, that's 40,000 per week times four, that's 160,000 per month. So once I have all the 20 accounts, which hopefully will happen by the end of this month, a majority of my accounts are going to be at PA by the end of this week, I think. I think tomorrow I'll be able to pass about 10 accounts, and then on Friday I'll pass another five. And then from there I'll have 20 accounts in total. So yeah, the payouts are going to multiply from there. Let's see, Steven's asking if I just follow the trade you take, will that be enough for me to make? I mean, ideally, yeah, that'd be the case, but the problem is you're not really good at following directions, Steven. So, I mean, I think you got to work on following directions first, and then once you're able to follow directions, then yeah, you can think about making some profit. But I think your problem is really just, and if you guys are new here, Steven's been part of the group for a while, and most of you guys already know Steven at this point. You just gotta be able to follow directions. Because I still see your profit sometimes, bro. You're taking like random stuff. Like I'm pretty sure you're gonna pass your accounts and then you're gonna trade gold like later tonight and then just blow all the accounts. It's just the cycle that you're stuck in, Steven. And it sucks because if you would just stick to like the morning trades, I think you do great. But for some reason, you just keep wanting to trade gold and then you just end up blowing all your accounts later. So yeah, your question there, you can definitely make some pretty good profit if you just stick to these morning trades. But I don't have control over you trading outside this live session, which you typically do. And yeah, I can't really help you with that. Like I don't want to get your hopes up and then you end up, things go south, of course. But yeah, you could make X amount of profit trading. I know you're trying to hit like a $4 million goal trading gold the other time, but it's just unrealistic. It's unrealistic. You gotta have realistic goals first before you can really think too far ahead. Yeah, Steven said 10 million. I remember you mentioned that you wanted a guaranteed strategy that could make you $10 million a day, right? So you can live a happy life. Yeah. Steven's always messing around, guys. So like if you guys know Steven's always messing around in the chat. So we mess around with Steven messes around with us. But yeah, he wants a one-time goal of 10 million in one day, and then he'll live a happy life. But all right, guys, I think this is it for today. We've been on off topic for a while. As you guys can see, there's not really much going on here. Unfortunately, I was hoping to call out some more trades for you guys, but there's just nothing going on here. Price came below the 600 mark right here. It didn't really come down to the target. The target was right here at the Asia low where the liquidity was sitting, but price never came down this far. It came down close, but it didn't actually come down this far to where it actually pushed through. So unfortunately, there was no push to the bottom here. Price is now climbing up again. Like I said, if you guys want to continue trading around this area, I would recommend waiting for price to break and close above the 650 mark. I think Rashid is still looking for that here. And then when it finally does break above here, you could expect it to possibly push up to this next level up here, the 700 mark. I'm just surprised Powell hasn't really pushed price around like at all. He's still speaking right now, but he hasn't really pushed price at all. I mean, the volatility's been low pretty much his whole speech. And there hasn't really been any spikes, like anything to really cause price to move up or to move down. So, all right, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up for the day. It's 7:54, so it's about 6 minutes till 8. 8's our cutoff time, but I mean, as you guys can see, there's nothing here to take to begin with, even if you wanted to keep trading. So I'd recommend just calling it a day. Come back tomorrow fresh. We have news tomorrow, a lot of news pre-market. So you should expect some volatility on open. I'll be trading tomorrow, of course, but I'll be taking it a little more conservative with my PA accounts and my personal account because I don't want to risk anything during the crazy volatility. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach